Here we go, guys. So today, honey, today's the 22nd?
Yes.
Okay, so that means we have technically 6 days, 5.5 days away from the UMAN OG, Unified Martial Arts Network. OG, all the guys, all the girls, Fountain of Youth, Region 11 launch. Now, this is the UMAN patch for those of you who have registered. Hun,
Yes.
remember, they're all going to get their patch. We're going to make the list of the people who get the patch. Now, today, I was at the memorial for Abdulaziz's son, Radiant. Rest in peace. Sad, he was born just a few months before my son, I remember, 1983. So I did speak to a few people that were there. Some are going to come to judge. Now, I did speak to, I'm going to say this again, guys. If you're going to be coming to the event and you're judging, you must confirm this by Wednesday. Now, some people assuming that they're confirmed, but please, just double check, or double confirm. Now, I'm going to do something that probably a little weird, I didn't want to do, but at 9:30, I'm going to have a judges meeting. Judges meeting at 9:30. The doors open at 9. Judges meeting at 9:30. Competition starts at 10. Now, I am going to change the flyer up there. And again, as we speak, we will be having 3 stages. The eliminations that start at 10, that should be done, will start at 10. The grand championships or the finals, they start at 5 o'clock. Followed by the after party and birthday bashes, because Master Ty and Miss Little Bit, and a few other people that should probably get shouted out, but I'll confirm it with them. Like Cookie Melendez and Mimi. And a few other people. So a whole bunch of people. So happy belated birthday and happy birthday to a bunch of people. So now, again, the intentions of the event was to stimulate people to start competing again that were the ages 40 and above initially, and then I dropped it to 30. And many people got the idea. This has zero competition when it comes to events that have 95% children. But the challenge of those events to me is very insulting because they've made it into kindergarten karate. And so there's no place for the so-called pioneers and legends to participate. They have us fighting on grapplers mats. They make us wear headgears. And it's just stupid because the WKF guys, they don't wear no headgear. They never have. And I'm throwing a tournament now as this headgear optional. And yes, we do have the same insurance companies. So it's just a personal preference. So my biggest so-called gripe has always been as a competitor that they'll have a tournament and then they won't have a separate grand champion for us. They want us to fight the 21-year-olds and then for no money. And then they'll have a division called the open division now where everybody, which is a European thing, by the way, it came from Europe, and they all fight the same, they all hop the same exact thing, throw the same exact technique, and then they give them $1,000. So then when you fight for grand champion, there's no money. It makes no freaking sense. They still charge the same amount of money. And it's insulting because, like, my generation precedes NASCAR or any organization that's presently out there, the majority of them, I should say. We come from Karate Illustrated, rated days. So I wanted to motivate my peers to come out and compete. Then I said, you know what? They should earn some money. So I said, let me give them $500 for grand, which is nothing. 500 measly freaking dollars in 2026. But these cheap bastards don't even do that. And they kill it. They make a killing with the kids. And then when it comes to the adults, like we're like just a second thought, afterthought. Now, some of the people are doing, hey, if you're above 60, we won't charge you to compete. Doesn't matter. They don't charge you to compete, but the backside of it is that you can't even fight for grand champion because you have to fight a 20-year-old, which I don't care. I beat them. Doesn't matter. The point is that there's enough tournaments for those kids, so I want tournaments for the adults, the big boys and girls who know how to sweep. who know how to close their hand, lock their knee when they throw techniques, who literally, who literally fought in a generation and did forms in a generation where it wasn't gymnastics and it wasn't an extended glove to the shoulder, when it wasn't just clashing into each other. And the styles, the different styles, made the fighting phenomenal. And I love that. Some of you guys just don't get it. 1970s, I would probably say, and again, this is my opinion just based because I'm limited, I'm only 60, but I saw the most advanced techniques when it comes to speed and quality and strength between 1976 and 1986. Now, I know before that, the blood and guts, they were stomping each other out, so I understand that. But when it started to be faking repositioning the angles and doing things that were like advanced level of pugilism, 76 to 86. After 86, it got watered down. They started raising their hand. Even in the early 80s, the national master tournaments, they used to raise their hand and raise their hand. It took a while before some of the local guys started to pick up that bad habit. I never picked it up. But the point wasn't this, that people showed improve. I see Shidoshi, I'm not sure if he's still there, Shidoshi, the Black Dragon himself, around Van Cleef. Now, this gentleman, that's an example, still competing in the BJJ tournament. He's still competing in the BJJ, and he competed up into his 60s and 70s with no problem. I think it was 70-something years old that Henry chose. The point was always leading by example. He is the epitome of what I would consider what a grandmaster is supposed to do. Show us what you got. Don't talk about the stuff that you never did. It's embarrassing because when they say that to their students and they believe it, I got a very good memory. So I remember seeing those guys compete in forms or maybe self-defense, not even be too good at it, and then become judges. Then afterwards they walk around like they're killers. I'm like, come on, man. Like you're the bottom of the pile of your what would be your legacy tree, but you act like you're a killer. And you can become, even right now. At any age, you can still train and become more dangerous than ever. Shidoshi himself, Grandmaster Ron Van Cleef, he's telling me how he has to study extensively to get his BJJ black belt with the Gracies. And he's excited about it. With other people, and by the way, I've never seen him out of shape. Never have seen him out of shape. I've never seen him out of shape. And that's triggered off to even Time Mark. Time Mark is because of him and the DNA. Time Mark's always been in shape too. Never seen him out of shape. Injured, that's something different, right? In terms of Time Mark, but never been out of shape. And I respect that. And I don't think it's just the military training. It's every stage of what would be the embodiment of being a true martial artist. And I gotta bow and salute to that because, come on, gotta give the props where it's due because it's earned, damn it. And that's what this is. So let's say you're 70 and you have never competed. And you get a chance to now compete at age 70, 5 years from that. By the way, 70, you're the youngest person in the 70 to 74 division. I think that sounded like a great idea. And in 5 years, you could become a pioneer. Because there's a new circuit and you can be winning. In 10 years, you could be a legend. Now, why am I saying that? Guys like Mike Stone, absolutely legend. Rest in peace to Chuck Norris, too. I don't think he competed 10 years. I might be wrong, but I don't believe that Mr. Norris was competing definitely not in the mid-70s. So by the time he did The Way of the Dragon, aka Return of the Dragon, he wasn't competing. His students were. So he didn't start competing in 64, I don't believe. Saw him 66, might have been 65. If he did 10 years, that's a lot. My point is that if you've been competing and winning at different levels, you can legitimately become a legend because you've earned it based on the results, even at age 70 to what would be 80. Then at age 80, you're the youngest person in the 80 to 84 division. Then the 85 to 89 division. Then the 90 and above. And eventually we'll have 95 and above and Centurions. That's what I envision. That's what I picture. And because of that, I use whether it's patches on the outside, peptides on the inside, throwing my 1,000 kick while laying down, standing up, holding onto the wall, whatever the case may be, with the intention to become better than ever. And I can say when it comes to striking, I can strike better than ever. I got more angles than I ever did before because it's the truth. I may have to do 3, 4 combinations to hit somebody to the body, which is not really karate. It's martial arts because it includes boxing techniques. I hit people hook punches. Always have. Can't help it. Mr. Marty Chisholm is right there, my man. Martin, I should say. And the fact of the matter is that Pugilism is still the art of hitting without being hit. Understanding timing, tempo, distance, broken rhythm, angles, fakes, reposition, fence. That's what makes up a complete fighter to me. Fakes, reposition, not just throwing kicks and punches. Billy Beeson just popped up. That guy will sweep a tree and try to take it out. But at the same time, when him and I worked out, we were sweeping. He can attest to that. Those techniques of working out with people make you better to prevent yourself from getting hurt. So I know that people have injuries. I understand that people have some illnesses. I get all that stuff. But if you was competing in an event 3 months from now, or 6 months from now, by the way, the next UMAN OG event from Live Youth is going to be September 19th. Last year was September 20th. This time will be September 19th. So it gives you 6 months after this event to get yourself in shape. Challenge yourself, man. It's so much fun. So much fun. That's what I hear in my mind when I'm personally going to compete. March 28th is the UMAN OG tournament, but I'm competing April 12th. Last year during this time, I was about 231 pounds after losing from 242 that I was in January last year after having some incredible, horrible things happen, including the death of my mother. So when I said to myself, man, I got to get myself in shape because I went to stand up from the sofa and hurt my knee. I said, man, how freaking old. I looked in the mirror and I cursed myself out. You old fat bastard. I can't believe that you standing up, hurt snack, crackle, and pop. And realistically, it was humiliating to me, but it made me start to train. And then this year I'm at 220, and I should be below that.
Hi.
Honey, remember when I got up the sofa?
Yeah.
What happened to my knee? What you heard?
Snap, pep, yeah. That,
snap, crackle, pop.
yeah.
She heard it, and it was scary, and I was hurt for like 2.5 months.
And it was actually loud. I was like, whoa, what was that?
My leg was asleep. She had caught 3 seizures, and her legs were laying across my lap, and I went to get up to use the bathroom, and I almost hit the floor.
He was sitting down for a long time.
Yeah, it was horrible. It was a horrible day. But because of that, it stimulated me to start training. In my personal career, every time I've gotten injured, I stepped up. I had a black eye when when I got a black eye age 10 having a fight. I started training more in my Taekwondo school 2-3 times a workout a day when I get a chance, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then Saturday I was there all day. When I got into a street fight at age 13, I got my nose broken, actually 14. Oh, I was embarrassed, and I started training like crazy. I said, never again is this going to happen. And I started training all types of hand movements and kicking and punching. I got really good. By the time 2 years after, I already had fight for black belt men and was winning. And then in 1986, which is just about 50 years, I got my jaw broken fighting against Billy Blanks. Best thing that ever happened. And from there, my progress went pop right through the freaking roof, right through the roof. This knee injury has caught, which was a year ago. My knee's fine now, but it caused me or made me start training again. Then I won 2 grand championships, and I was going to fight a 3rd grand champion. It would have been against a 21-year-old, and it was for no money. I'm saying I'm going to turn around and test this kid's chin, maybe hurt him, because he's good. And there's no money, so I was insulted. Went back in time. I was saying, I remember in New York, there was no money in New York when you competed. But then if I would go to out-of-state tournaments, there was money. So what did I do? I used to go to the out-of-state tournaments to earn some money. So hence to, I should say, fast forward to today, a measly $500. When Derek Williams won $500 at the tournament, literally he said that's the most money he's made at a tournament ever. And I was like, wow, that's crazy, because he's always competed in the New York area. And they never gave away money. If they did, it was $200. Like every freaking year, or $100, they just slide it to you. My point is that I made a mistake, guys. With intentions to try to financially compensate people and motivate them to do it, if I wasn't given $1, I'd probably have the same amount of people, which is called not many. Just keeping it real. So I had a conversation with Master Ty, and recorded it earlier today, and I was really livid. The reason I was livid was because the haters pay at the door. a lot faster than the so-called supporters. The so-called supporters do it from a distance. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And they don't do a damn thing. And I'm like, man, I don't have the finances to really sponsor this thing in that capacity. So if I break even, I'll be happy. Last time I lost some money, and that was only $2,000. My point is that I don't know why God put this in my mind, but my intention is to lay out a platform to help people stay alive. Now, immediately when I do that, and I start second-guessing myself, I'll have a conversation with somebody that will show appreciation and support. And let me tell you what that was. For those of you who may not know, I also started the first sneakers in martial arts. Yes, the first sneakers. And I put the event. Bring me the sneaker hunter, please. The first one that's over there. And I named the event and the T-shirt. And the T-shirt, the date, it's like August 11th, 1973 was the first hip hop official so-called hip hop jam with a flyer in a place that Cool Herc threw. So they called that, and that was a hip hop boulevard with a 1520 Sedgwick Avenue in the Bronx. So I put a date to this thing. On September 20th, 2025, martial arts went back to the future. So the event, by the way, we still have some of these collector's items, which I only made 100, and they're numbered here. And they're numbered. So they're just, they'll still be here on sale because the black T-shirts, we won't have them on time for the tournament. But these T-shirts are still available. And then I did, and I put the date on the actual martial arts sneakers. And people say, damn, there he goes again, doing some what? Raising standards. That's right. I want to raise the standards of martial arts because to me, it's embarrassing when I see some welfare version of things. So branding and merchandising is something that's important. You see, I'm doing professional commercials. So this gentleman by the name of Flor Vasquez, who's Felix Vasquez, Sensei's younger brother, not only did he buy a T-shirt, but he bought a pair of sneakers the first time, and he only has 1 foot. What? So imagine that. A person that's showing so much love and support to the point where he couldn't come to the event. He's upstate New York. But he said, how can I not support you? I'm going to get a T-shirt and a pair of sneakers. And he can't even wear them, but one. And then I hear people that I know forever, and they never even came to the event. Or they went to a tournament the week before that gave away no money. And I'm thinking, man, here I am now, hindsight being 2020, I was wrong. I thought that giving away the money would have been cool. Because that's the tournament I want to go to. A tournament in New York where in my 40s, 50s, 60s, in my case 60 now, I feel like I'm legit. And to prove it, I will have some finances, at least to be able to take my honey out. But I stand corrected. This has not made a difference in terms of more competitors. I think the mistake is, or the truth is, that most of you guys don't have enough confidence in yourself. And giving away the money didn't make a difference. And it's sad. It's sad because if for some reason, I'm still going to throw this tournament in September 1, and we'll gauge it after that because I'm not a fool. If it doesn't produce the results I'm supposed to, then that means I made a mistake from a business standpoint. But my intentions was in this to give people a platform, not to make excuses, to go out there and really do their thing, enjoy themselves. And as a spectator, that's what I wanted to do too, see people that are adults. When I see Derek Williams with no headgear on, gloves and boots, mouthpiece, groin cup, shin guards optional. He's fighting against somebody who has a headgear and gloves on and boots and the whole nine. And it looks beautiful. Because both people were dressed the way they wanted to, but you can see the polar opposites. I was excited. When Justo turned around and swept one person, 2 people, 3 people, I was like, wow, that is so cool. When I seen Tito, a.k.a. Jose Iglesias, a.k.a. Tito, do a jumping back kick. Oh, my God. He's in his 50s. I was like, wow. He's also ITF world champion who might be winning again. I got excited. So, again, how can I, as a small operation, give away $3,500 for people 30 and above when tournaments are huge and they don't do that? And it's because we're not the market. That's the truth. But they never gave us a chance to treat us properly, I believe. And just because you say, hey, we don't charge you if you're 60, that's charity, man. But you don't have a legitimate grand champion that makes it enticing. Yes, for the local people, cool. But I don't come from that. I come from national and international fighting. I've traveled abroad. I've won world championships. I've won regional championships. In recent years, I've competed in local tournaments because those local tournaments don't make me wear freaking headgear. I get a chance to do things the way I enjoy, the same way Mr. Williams did not wear headgear. So earlier, I might have offended people, and I don't care. I'm offended because you guys literally are full of crap. But that's okay. I will continue to train. If you guys think I'm the idiot because I use things I seen someone today who could barely walk. That same person I had put patches on them a few months ago. They did things they haven't done in years. And they're too cheap. Lazy, which means stupid, not to use something that works. I don't understand people, but it doesn't really matter. In my case, I want to reverse time, so I'm doing whatever it takes. Presently, peptides. If you don't know what peptides are, then there's something wrong with you. You know, they're making a big difference in people's lives. A lot of unnecessary pain you guys going through. The patches directly communicate with your brain. Without them, I don't function the same. No question about it. It's the truth. But I've always been into things like that. But at the same time, you guys may know what this is. Tomorrow, this is my meal. I'm having my first colonoscopy. And I say the first. Imagine that. I never even checked it. Just to be safe. I want to live at least another 60 years. And that's not going to happen by accident. We just lost, rest in peace, Mr. Norris. The legend himself. So we don't know how long we have on this earth. Just came from funeral today. A gentleman that literally was the same age as my son, 42. So today is the present. It's a gift. And people are screwing up the gifts, man. Any form of what will be illness or injury can be reversed by natural ways. Everyone is all called inflammation, which means mucus, which means acid, and it comes from your lifestyle, which includes what you eat. Everything can be reversed. Dr. Sebi did it with nutrition. Dr. Joe Dispenza has done it with meditation. People who were blind completely, people who couldn't walk completely, talk, what have you. The brain is what controls everything. Because there's nothing wrong with your eyes. It's the connection of the brain through the eyes. The eyes are just the lens. And if you have cataract and so on and so forth, that means that you have mucus. So the way to reverse that is to cleanse your body. You also use the eyes towards the sun, not away, because you need that to increase what will be the strength of your eyes. But the traditional way to do things, the Western world will kill you. They'll give you medicine this, drug that, and you'll be in a worse situation, at least in my opinion. But the truth is that when you search for solutions to reverse things, you got to understand what caused you to get it. And it always goes down to lifestyle. You know, sometimes it's what you eat, most of the time. And then the exercises that you do. Physical exercises, mental exercises, breathing exercises, so like that your body completely functions. Do you know that I'm stepping up my peptide game to the point where the next two that I'm going to start taking, literally, one of them completely resets. Oh my God. It taps into your pineal gland. What? Yes. it takes your fat that you have and actually starts to burn that brown visceral fat that you have that's cancerous. There's a lot of information out there, but when you guys go to traditional ways, see what happens. They're going to treat you. You're going to call the patient, and they're going to want you to stay there as a patient forever. When if you're in a situation that is drastic, then you can get it reversed, guys. Trust me, you will not be the same. You're not the only person who's in that situation that has been able to reverse those things. Sometimes it's a 180 opposite, something you may not even think about. But the truth of the matter is that anything could be reversed. At least in my belief. And I've seen more than enough so-called miracles happen, but it's not miracles, it's science. And that's my rant of the day. I'm just trying to create an opportunity for people to really get off their assets. I believe that you could do so much more. You guys have never reached the levels of competition that you could have. And the older you get, the better. I got to give props to someone like Jonas Nunez, because literally in his 20s, yeah, he won okay. 30s, The older he got, the more he started winning, because most of the people that were competition started to stop competing, so he became the seasoned veteran. That's just the truth. I'm keeping it real. He will win, Great Grandmaster Aaron Banks tournaments, but I don't think he ever won a grand champion fighting, unless I'm wrong. But he was always placing, no question about that. But the older he got, the more he's been winning, and I'm freaking so happy for him. He's having a ball. He traveled. Now he has been traveling throughout the United States and even other countries. That's so cool. For years, I used to try to drag him out of New York, and he wouldn't go. He stayed with his trophies. His thing was trophies, and my thing was like, man, I gotta freaking pay bills, and I need some extra money, and this extra money is in a tournament, because they're giving away $500 back then, and that could be a month's salary for me. When today, $500, you can go to dinner and have a nice night on us if you win the grand champion here. That's what I was trying to do, guys. Am I going to continue with this up until September 19th, and then we'll make an adjustments accordingly from there? But I do believe that for years to come, it'll happen. But my point is that it has to be a successful thing. Otherwise, who are we kidding? I don't want to waste my time. Again, at this point, everyone, if you pay at the door, that just means that you're going to have to wait online or what have you. But at this point, registration is $100 for the first division, $25 each additional division. Spectators presently are $40 for eliminations only, and $75 for VIP, which is eliminations, nighttime finals, and the after party, which includes finger food and also drinks and birthday cakes. I'm trying to see if I forgot anything else. There are no defending grand champions. Reason being, this is a different event. September, there will be a defending grand champion. That's Tito, Marty Eubanks, Derek Williams. Because Tito won 2, and Marty Eubanks won 1. Marty Eubanks won the 60, and Tito won the 40 and 50. So, that's the deal, guys. Thank you for watching. I'm not sure if I forgot anything, but I'm looking forward to. This is Grandmaster Jerry Fast Feet Foutain, and we're out. AB, see ya.